Last year, these things right here paid me $2,800. Every dollar came from money I was already going to spend in the first place. And what I did with that money might just change how you think about your wallet. Because this is not about credit cards necessarily. It's about turning your everyday spending into an investing engine. Now, here's the problem. Most people don't make money with credit cards. They lose money because of interest, because of overspending, because of minimum payments. See, it quietly works against them. But if you flip the system and you use it in the right way, your credit cards can actually become a tool that feeds your investments. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I earned the money, how it works, how anybody can do this, and where my $2,800 actually went. Well, at least $500 went into the stock market to get even more money back, but more on that a little bit later. This is one of the simplest ways I found to generate extra money without having to work more or get a side hustle or anything like that. How I actually earned this money wasn't some weird trick or a hack or anything like that. I knew roughly what we would be spending every single month. And instead of writing checks or using my debit card, my family used a series of credit cards instead. Here's the key difference. This isn't coming from spending like crazy or spending more. If you're buying basic things like groceries, streaming services, and even silly yet required situations, like the plumbing repairs that you have to make, car repairs, heck, even your electric bill. Well, that's where my $2,800 comes from. So for example, you could spend, let's say, $1,600 a month on groceries for your family of four on a debit card. Or you could spend that same $1,600 a month on groceries and get 6% cash back. Even getting 2% cash back on necessities is better than nothing. So let's make this real for a second. Let's say your household expense is, $2,000 a month. 2% of $2,000 is $40 a month. And over the course of the year, that's $500 back every single year. And then on top of that, you can stack things like the sign-up bonuses and category bonuses. And remember this key point though, you were already going to spend that $2,000 anyway, because you had to. Everybody needs groceries and things like that. So let me break down my $2,800 in cash rewards, and then I'll show you how to do this easy and free. So I use a total of 4 different credit cards. And before you think you need to get 4 credit cards to do this, you don't. You could do this with just one solid 2% cashback card and still make hundreds of dollars a year. So I earned $600 from my American Express card. This one gives me 6% cash back on groceries and streaming services, like Netflix, Disney Plus, etc. In fact, it also gives me an additional bonus on top of this on Disney Plus of $10 a month. So I get the cashback percentage plus an extra bonus of $10 a month. So it kind of makes that particular streaming service a little bit less. Now this one, unlike the other one I'll show you, comes with a $95 annual fee. So this is something to think about. However, what I do is when I earn my cash back on groceries and stuff like that, I pay that with my cash back. That $95 annual fee comes out of my rewards. That way I'm not spending my hard-earned money on it. Now, moving on, I earned $637 from my Chase Sapphire card. We use this one to take advantage of 5% cash back on dining and travel. Third card is my Amazon Prime card. I don't know about you, but I shop a little bit too much on Amazon. But I earned $236.61 last year. This one's a good one. This one has no annual fee, and I earn 5% and sometimes 6% cash back on all of my Amazon purchases. Look, if you use Amazon a lot, this card is almost a no-brainer to get 5% back consistently on all of your purchases with them. And last is my Wells Fargo. If I got purchases that don't align with those higher percentages, instead of just opting for their default 1%, I use this one right here, which gives me 2% cash back on everything. And this Wells Fargo also has no annual fee. And with Wells Fargo, since that captures all other spending, that one was pretty big. We earned a total of $1,339.76 last year. And I was also also excited to see my community post from yesterday does lean a lot toward credit card usage for rewards. One shout out is this comment right here, using both the Apple Card, which gives around 2 to 3% cash back, also no annual fee, and running all of their expenses when possible through the Upside app. Upside's a free app that you can use. It gives you cash back. I've already racked up, check out my account here, up over $900 that I need to cash out very soon. Let's talk about how this actually works, how I do this in 2 very easy steps. I do not make this complicated, guys. You know, when you flip the game on credit card rewards, no longer are you going to spend money that you can't easily use a debit card on. So if you find yourself overspending, you have to set yourself into the discipline to never ever spend more than you can afford. And once you do that, you'll go from spending money on credit cards to earning money on credit cards with the cashback rewards. So first thing to do is find your best credit card. And this is totally up to you. This is really based on what works best for you, not what somebody is trying to sell you or get you to sign up for. Sure, I got links in the description. You can check out what I recommend, but you don't have to do that. You have to do your own research. See which one works better for you, what's easier for you, and get started with that particular credit card. You also want to make sure that if you're not up for it yet, don't jump into one with an annual fee. Maybe go for one that is free to use. It gives you good cash back first, and then you can scale up if you want to later on. But here's the part that most people miss. The second part, you have to track your credit card spending exactly like you would a debit card. This is what really separates the people that win this versus those that get trapped. And this could be as simple or as nerdy as you'd really like to do. The point is, all you have to do is ensure that you have enough cash in your checking account to pay off your credit card in full every single month. That's all I've been doing over the last 6 years that I've been doing this. And the moment that you let your credit card balance roll to the next month, you're out of the game. That's not what we want. We want to pay that thing off completely every single month. Think about it this way. A debit card never allows you to roll a balance month over month. So neither should you let your credit card do it as well. Now, I'm a bit of a nerd if you're new to the channel here, and I use a simple sheet that I created. I'll link it below if you want to check it out, where I track my income and my spending. In the first column, I indicate what credit card it's from: Amex, Chase, Wells Fargo, Amazon, etc. At the end of the month, when I get that final credit card bill, I filter by the first column, and then I check off to make sure that the balances match from my checking account register to whatever's on the credit card bill. And then if it all does, everything checks out, I pay it off in full. The best part, I get to see exactly what I have in my checking account using the sheet at all times, minus anything pending on the credit cards. And honestly, this keeps me true to my budget and my actual balance. This is exactly how I've been able to maintain this without paying any additional fees, without falling into any traps on the credit cards for the last 6 years. So now that we've talked about, these 2 easy steps, you might be wondering, where did my $2,800 over the last year actually go, and how much did I make so far this year in 2026? I'll share details behind both of these questions because you guys have stuck with me so far in this video, and I appreciate that. Now, if you're new here, I am known for getting people started with basic investing with something called the $5 a day concept, and more on that in a second. First, let's divide up the $2,800 cash back, and then you'll understand how I use a little bit of that to invest. If we take $2,800 divided by 365 days a year, that equals about $7.67 cash back per day if you divide it up. And if you think about it, that's actually more than $5 a day. So you could ultimately, if you were tight on money completely and had no money to invest, use the cash back on your credit cards with a good system to fund a $5 a day investment strategy. Now, I don't just talk about it. I've actually been doing this in the last 4 years. I've been doing this 4 years consistently, investing $5 a day. I've already built up to $10,677 in that little $5 a day portfolio. That is a 32.8% return on my investment. So imagine what you could do if you had no money. You need to start investing. You don't know how to start because you have too many, you don't make enough income. You just don't have enough money. What do? Cashback rewards on stuff that's already budgeted, invest at $5 a day, you're going to be further ahead than you are right now. But even though that is just one idea, let's talk about where my $2,800 actually went. So what we do, we actually start with the Amazon rewards. We use that and a bit of our Wells Fargo rewards to enjoy easier budgeting during Christmas time. In fact, a good majority of the gifts that we get for our kids and our friends and our family actually come from the rewards that we build up over the year. This is a great way to not get hit with extra cost come November and December of every year. And we truly use this system to maximize gifts when possible without being like, oh no, now we got to worry about the budget for the holiday season. It just comes out of those cash reward accounts. Next up, we used $500 last year to afford a little bit of an upgrade. We upgraded to the Comfort Plus seating on Delta Airlines when we were taking a trip out to California. And I was kind of excited to snag this deal and have it be ultimately covered by the cashback rewards. And we also took out another $500 to invest in the stock market, of course, right? Now we can get growth from the money that we got back for our everyday budget. Imagine if we didn't do this. If we just used our debit card, we wouldn't have had that extra $500 and we wouldn't have been able to put that extra $500 into the investments. And that's what's beautiful about it. And this is where it gets powerful. It isn't just rewards. It's really fuel for further investments and making our financial life even a little bit better. And what about the rest of the money? Well, we're actually saving up the rest of the money in our Chase travel rewards account because we want to go on a family Europe trip. So while we could take that cash out and use it for, saving up in an investment account, the points in the Chase travel actually give you more when you book through them. So it's better just leave those cashback rewards in Chase. And when I'm ready to do that Europe trip, I can actually get further and more plane upgrades than I would otherwise. So that's why we do that. And you might be asking, well, how much have I made so far this year? Well, here it is. As of the recording of this video, this is in April of 2026. We've only gone through 3 full months of 2026. And here is the total. $393.79 so far this year. Again, we're not big spenders, so some of you might have a lot more. It all depends on your monthly expenses and what you can afford, but that is ours. The real question here is, are you using your credit cards or are you letting your credit cards use you? Because you, my friend, are powerful and should always be in control. If you haven't yet started investing at all, check out how I turned my $5 a day into over $10,000 like I shared earlier by watching this video next. Keep building your Sharpe money and we'll see you on the next video.